Two advocacy groups say that they will take Alberta to court over the province's newly announced changes to policies around gender identity.
We want to make sure that as kids embark upon those life-changing decisions, that we're very clear about the appropriate level to be able to make those decisions. There has to be a certain level of maturity, of understanding the consequences, the full consequences of what that transition means. And then
So that's Alberta Premier Danielle Smith yesterday at a press conference. And then in a joint statement, Egal Canada and the Calgary-based Skipping Stone Foundation said, quote, the draconian measures announced run directly counter to expert guidance and evidence. They violate the constitutional rights of 2 LGBTQI+ people, and they will lead to irreparable harm and suffering. Bennett Jensen is the director of legal for Egal Canada. He's in our studio this morning. Bennett, welcome back to the show. What was your reaction when you watched that press conference yesterday?
I've been thinking about that a lot, obviously, since yesterday. And this morning, I'm really left wondering why we're here. Why is Premier Smith, why did she announce all of these initiatives that are clearly unconstitutional, that wouldn't stand up in court, and then not have any specific plans to enact them in the next 6 months? What we are left with is a population of Alberta that is scared, that feels under attack, and is left in this state of suspension, wondering what is actually going to happen and when. It feels like state-sponsored bullying, and I'm not sure why we're here.
Some of the changes specifically addressed are medical treatment and procedures, and they include prohibiting children younger than 16 from accessing hormone therapy, gender-affirming surgeries, and puberty blockers. And they also prohibit anyone 17 and younger from accessing gender reassignment surgery. So from a legal standpoint, how problematic is it for a government to be deciding which medical services are available to children to access?
Highly problematic. I think the last time that we were here as a country was when the government sought to ban abortion. And just like there, the courts were very clear that it is unconstitutional. It violates the equality and security of the person rights for pregnant people to be denied medically necessary care. Same here. It is unconstitutional and a violation of the Charter freedoms of gender-diverse people to be denied medically necessary, often life-saving medical care.
And just to clear it up, because this is framed in the context of parental rights.
Yeah.
So in any of those surgeries previous, would parental consent have to have been given before?
That's just not the way our legal system works. So what the system requires is that for young children, parental consent is, of course, required before medical procedures. Mm-hmm. And then we have a whole doctrine called the mature minor doctrine, where doctors are empowered, to assess the maturity of young people and make individualized decisions, just like they're making with the treatment decisions about whether or not that young person is able to consent on their own.
So that's touching into the medical world. Let's talk about education. Some of these other changes, revolve around what can and can't be taught in school. So parents must now opt in if they want their children to learn about gender and sexuality, and any what they call third-party resources regarding the topics have to be pre-approved by the ministry. How concerned are you about that?
Highly concerned. This is incredibly stigmatizing. So what does this do for example, a young person who has queer parents? Is the teacher allowed to engage with that? Or is this child expected to go through their entire education with, understanding that other people have to opt in to learning about their family? We believe at Egal, and I think most Canadians believe, that all young people deserve to attend school environments where they see their identities, their families reflected. And this is a targeting on a particularly vulnerable minority group in the province. Really
quickly, but I want to get this last one in. The province also said that they were going to provide support for parents throughout this process and for transgendered youth. What do you think about that move?
I mean, I think that they just aren't speaking to the parents who have gender-diverse youth. I'm hearing from them, and they're horrified. She speaks about parental rights, but she's ignoring the parents who are supporting their children as they navigate these situations. And I just wish that she would have actually consulted the people who know what they're talking about in this area.
Thank you for coming in today. We should also note we did ask the Alberta government about how it consulted on the medical changes, and they said they are in the early development of these policies. We need to engage with stakeholders and work with ministries to determine how these policies will be implemented. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.